Hello all. Today we are solving LeetCode problem number 3713, longest balance substring part 1. So you are given a string S, so consisting of lowercase English letters only. So a substring is called a balanced if all the distinct characters in the substrings appear same number of time. So this problem is almost similar to yesterday's and day before yesterday's problem, because that case we are solving the odd and even numbers in fact, right? But this is completely different because this deals with the characters. So there you have only two cases, which is odd and even. So now you have 26 different characters. So you need to check if the you need to find the substring which is balanced and of longest length. So that is what you have to find, and you have to return the longest length of the subarray which is balanced. So for this, just to track all the distinct characters and it times the frequency of its appearance, we can straight away thought for anyone on for me it is to use frequency map. So when you use this frequency map, you will have for a specific characters for specific range from, because for substring you will have I to j pointer. So from I to j, uh, the array, the whatever the it's not array, whatever the strings present there, right, in between these two indexes, that will be a substring, right? So you will have characters present within the substring. So using that, you can calculate the frequency of the character, and you will get the time, the occurrence of or the frequency of appearance of the characters time. So and you can check if all the distinct characters has same frequency value. So this map will have the characters as key, which is, for example, you will have a as the key, and the value will be the frequency. For example, it can be 1, and for b it will be 2. So this is how the map will looks like. So yeah, so with this, we will be, with the help of this frequency map, we will be solving this problem. And since the time constraint, if you check in the problem, it is the values rise between 1 to 1000. So we can use two for loops, and this will cost us time complexity of n square, so which is very much enough to solve this particular problem. So in time complexity big O of n square, by using this frequency map. And why it's big O of n square? Because to form subarray, as I said, we need two index or pointers value, right, which is I and j. So starting, it will be I and j will be at same index, which will form the substring a. So you'll have a here, and the next will be ab, and the next will be abb, and next abba, and next will be the full string abbac. So next what happens is the pointer jump, so which will be like, it will start from this. I will just draw again. So it will start from this b, and then bb, then it continues until c. Then we move the pointer to next position, which is start from again b, then BA and BC. So this is how it goes on, and you form all the possible subarrays. So for that you use two for loops. So that is the reason you get n square time complexity. So you, by two for loops, you form all arrays, right? So two for loop, all subarrays. So how do we calculate the length, right? So when you want to calculate the length, you have to check. Now comes the main logic. So when you find the subarray, which means you have I and j index, so using which you can fetch all the substring, the string values within the substring, right? Sorry, I'm talking about array, it should be substring. So there you have these two indexes through which you can access the substring. So now the check condition, that should be, you have to fetch all the frequency map dot values, right? And check if all values are equal. So you have to fetch all the you have to in fact iterate and fetch all the values and check if the values is equal. So if it is equal, then you can use this index to find the length. How do you find it? Will be by using the formula j minus I plus 1. So using this you can find the length, right? So this is method 1. So there is one more method where you can use set. So you can put the values, you can convert or convert the values to a list, right? So which means you will have the list consisting of v1, v2, v3, where v1 equal to v2 equal to v3, right? So when you convert this into a set, convert to set, this will become since there are all the values are duplicate, this will become any one value, right? So the set will be one value. So which means now you find len of set, if it equals to 1, then which means valid, right? Then calculate the length, which is j minus I plus 1. So this is the method which I'm going to use here. So this is the check condition. If yes, you have to get the value, and you will use max value and max function to get the maximum result, and you can return it, right? So as we discussed, the time complexity here will be big O of n square, and space complexity will be, it will be maximum, it will be 26 or it will be 1, so it depends on that. Okay, so since we are using set, this will cost us probably, yeah, up to n. So that is it. So now let us go ahead and code this up. So first thing first is you need to have the length n, so len of yes, and now you have to have a variable to track down on the maximum value. Max val is equal to 0. So now for I in range, you start with n, and sorry, this should be n, and now you have to define the frequency map. I will be using default dict for this. So int, so yes, so now for j in range, this should start from I till n, right? So now you have to update the frequency map. So free map of the j value, that is yeah, this should be the j value, that is string of j value. Yes, j value should be incremented by 1, because since we are using this default value with the int, you can increment by 1, right? So now you have to create the list to store all the values. So this will have vals is equal to list of, you have to fetch all the values, so freq map dot values. So you have the list ready. So now convert to now check condition, so where if you can convert to set, so length of set of vals is equal to 1. Now you can find the max val, max of max val, and this will be j minus I plus 1, so that is the value, and there you go, we can return max val. Let me run it and submit it, and there you go. Thank you.